Here in Boulder, the top-ranked Kansas Jayhawks against the Colorado Buffaloes, our feature attraction on Payne Weber College Basketball here on ABC. The standings tell the story. Kansas with a 19-game winning streak, trailing Colorado in the Big 12 by a half game. Well, good afternoon and welcome, everybody. With Dick Vitale, I'm Brent Musburger. It has been 28 years since the Buffaloes took a team into the NCAA basketball tournament. That will end this year, Mr. Vitale.
I'll tell you, Brent, there's electricity in the house here today, and the reason is the excitement over this team, which has won 8 in a row. They're 15-3. Ricardo Patton has instituted discipline, baby. They have discipline, and they believe they can beat the Jayhawks. And today you will see one of the best players in America no one knows about. Remember the name, Chauncey Billups. And today he will be guarded by Jock Vaughn, one of the defensive demons in America, as tough as can be, Mr. Vaughn.
There is Jock on the other side. You see that we have 2 lineup changes. He is replaced by number 22, B.J. Williams. And Martise Moore, who is suffering from bronchitis, who helped light up Kansas last year before Colorado fell by 2 points. He'll be out of the starting lineup. And there is one of the finest coaches in the land, Roy Williams, his 9th season at Kansas. He's put together a program. Here's the general, Ricardo Patton. What a job he has done in turning the program around here in Buffalo.
I'll tell you one thing, Brent, if you name Coach of the Year honors right now, you have to think of the name Patton along with Gary Williams, who's done a phenomenal job at Maryland, but had a big win today over Duke.
All right, Dick, Billups comes right out to Vaughn now as we watch that great point guard matchup. There are NBA scouts here watching it. Kansas likes to move the ball around, get a lot of touches. LaFrentz short on the shot. Rebounded by Colorado. It's key, Dick, for the Buffs to jump early, we think.
Brent, they got to get an early lead to get this crowd involved. The one thing about Kansas, they have a lot of character. I watched them come back from 18 down against Cincinnati.
Edwards partially blocked, knocked away and out of bounds. This will be Jayhawks ball.
I just love Jock Vaughn. He's one of those special players. Ricardo Patton knows he's a dynamite player, and so does Roy Williams. I don't care what those pro scouts said. This kid can play at the next level. He's a winner, Brent. Got the ball with a left-handed dribble now and sends it over to the corner. Smooth glide by Pierce. Drew the foul. You're going to love Paul Pierce. He's one of the super Souths in America, along with Chauncey Billups. You talk about guys like, for example, Ron Mercer. He's a tremendous second-year player. Louis Bullock at Michigan. With Pollard out, B.J. Williams, and where they will really miss Pollard is rebounding and shot blocking. Roy Williams told me before the game that Pollard is the best shot blocking center he has ever coached. Well, you know, inside he gives him a presence in the post, blocking shots. He had over 200 blocked shots in his career, 55 this year. Put back by LaFrentz. That's a problem right now for Colorado. Will be matching up size-wise on the interior with Kansas. Now we'll watch Billups. His first shot, the 3. Pass takes it down for the Jayhawks. Billups is one of those rare point guards, Brent, who has great scoring ability. Jock Vaughn can be defined as a true, genuine point guard who passes rather than think about shot. Back into Vaughn's hands. And they turn it over. Man-to-man defense, very athletic, this Colorado team. And they're legit. They're no fluke. You don't beat Iowa State by 24. You don't beat Texas Tech at Texas Tech. You got a 35-game win streak without being legitimate. Good defense on the ball, forces that turnover, and Kansas comes back down. To the basket. They're going to need Martise Moore in that middle in this game. Martise Moore is a special player who's on a sideline. How good is he? He was ACC Rookie of the Year when he played at Georgia Tech before transferring. Charlie Melvin checks in. He is 6'10", so they replace 6'5" Fred Edmonds to try and bring more size against LaFrentz. Yeah, matchups are so important. Melvin out of New Mexico started a lot last year, and he's a shot blocker. He's got long arms. Well, the crowd has been taken out of it for the moment. The kind of start that Coach Williams wanted with the Jayhawks here today. They have switch shots, Colorado. and he traveled. Hicks turns it over.
Jared Haas has had a solid year. What a backcourt, Brent. You and I were talking off the air. Can you imagine having two guards in your backcourt? Between them have had 1B academically in the last, like, 3 semesters. Last semester, Jock Vaughn had only 1B. I don't know what happened in that prof. He got 1B, got all A's, and Haas is a straight A, 4.0.
There's the turnover. Dick Colorado may need an early timeout. Haas goes for the layup. This could be a 3-point try coming up.
You know, sometimes you're so excited about a game that you're really so pumped up that you really don't come out and play in terms of being focused and concentrated because you're so pumped up for the game. Jared Haas, he's a very tenacious competitor. He's improved his 3-point shot this year. He came over from the University of California as a transfer.
Jared Haas.
California, they go California dreaming down here at Kansas. They got so many players from California. Paul Pierce, Jock Vaughn. In the past, they have Rex Walters and Adonis Jordan.
A very positive start for the Jayhawks. 8-0, 17-42. Fryer having checked in for the Buffs. And they still are ice cold. 1 and out.
Only getting 1 shot. There's one area they're not strongest on the glass, rebounding. I'll tell you, this is a great start by this Kansas team. Came in here and knew that this club was going to be all pumped up.
There are a lot of Kansas fans here, Dick, because when this game was announced, all their supporters around Denver bought up the tickets. That was before Colorado was a hot item. So you're going to hear a lot of cheering for the Jayhawks here today.
I'll tell you, you talk about a hot ticket everywhere you went today. That's all people were talking about. Colorado basketball. My wife and I came out of church, and I couldn't believe it. People grabbing you, saying, wait till you see our Buffs, baby. They're for real.
Now, let me give a Buffalo fan an encouraging sign, and that's the fact that last Saturday they trailed Iowa State 9-2 before winning that game 70-45.
And Tim Floyd was ejected in that game when Iowa State was leading, but also they played without Dedrick Willoughby. Ricardo Patton, he's the man in Colorado. I know this is John Elway country down here, but I'll tell you one thing, this guy can run for governor right now. General Patton, wow. Discipline, his first full year. Took over, they were 4-9 last year.
They've got to get Billups some kind of a shot on the inside if they can. Screen, get him down low, and get him into this game, Jack. He averages 18 a game.
Yeah, he's got to look for a shot, but he's playing against one of the better defensive players in America, Jock Vaughn. Watch Vaughn's concentration. Let's see if he can beat him with the dribble.
Cannot. The 10-point run continues with Kansas possessing the ball again, and Jock Vaughn going to the corner, and Haas fires up a miss. Pierce tracks it down. LaFrent's going to go strong again. Good-looking player underneath.
Too many second and third opportunities, Brent. They got to neutralize him on how to get to the glass.
Just like that, smooth as silk. Paul Pierce.
He's brilliant. He is sensational. He's one of those special players. I call him the 3S man. Super scintillating, sensational. I just love Paul Pierce.
13-0.
Wow. Wow. Does that take the air out of the crowd? It was all pumped up here. We talked about it, how they had to come out early, Kansas, and shut this crowd down and get momentum, and they did, Brent.
Fryer on the ball, takes Billups out, and the shot by Melvin. Charlie Melvin.
Melvin with that first deuce. They're going to have to make something happen with their defense, Colorado. They've been a tough defensive team all year long.
Yeah, Kansas just attacking the glass. LaFrent's underneath, keeping it up after missing the shot, and he drew the foul.
And I'll tell you one thing, he's like automatic on the free throw line. He's got a stretch of 20 in a row on the line.
Number 3, Marquise Moore, his first personal, third team foul for Colorado, and for Colorado.
So they'll see what Moore can do. And again, he is bothered because of bronchitis. But he did come off the bench and score a 29 and a 2-point loss by Colorado to Kansas a year ago. So here's LaFrentz with the streak.
Yeah, he came off the bench. As you look at LaFrentz, Mr. Basketball in Iowa, talking about Marquise Moore for those 20. That was the first game. Oh,
we did it to him.
Yeah, we jinxed him. Wow. He's having a great year. But, you know, getting back to last year, that was the first game. That was the first game that Ricardo Patton coached and taken over for Joey Harrington. And he had the team sleep in a building here the night before the game to Bond. And they came out and lost by a deuce. And he didn't start Marquise Moore because he was late for a meeting.
So we've got a timeout. The unbeaten and top-ranked Jayhawks lead 14-2. Colorado with only one field goal. We'll be right back.
Weber College Basketball on ABC. Brought to you by Payne Weber. When you invest with Payne Weber, you invest with more intelligence. Discus Athletic Activewear. Discus Athletic, the one thing to wear for every sport. Toyota and their full line of quality cars and trucks. And BASF. We don't make a lot of the products you buy. We make a lot of the products you buy better.
Colorado trailing 14-2 with 15:45 to go in the opening half. And the crowd quiet because of the early positive start by the unbeaten and top-ranked Jayhawks. All that's left for Roy Williams to accomplish is to win the ring. And this team definitely has the look. They could take it all. Scott Pollard, their injured center, will be back in time for the NCAAs this year. It's a stress fracture in the foot. Shot clock down to 4. Phillips has to fire up a long 3. Miss. And it's 1 and out. Not a good shot. They didn't get it on the inside quick enough against this tough Jayhawk D.
They really play great defense as a team. They play the ball one-on-one as well as anybody in America.
Fryer gives it to Phillips, looking for the easy 2, and he is fouled by Jacques Vaughn. Interesting story about Jacques Vaughn. When you look at all the things he's accomplished, one thing stands out above all else. He is a winner. In his 4 years as the starting point man, Kansas has won 110 games and lost only 19.
And that's not against Cupcake City, Brent. That's against great competition. They say he can't stroke the jump shot. All I know, he was second in a Big 8 last year in three-point shooting. Shot 42% from the perimeter. He doesn't come down, think shot every time like the new breed point guards. He's thinking of getting everybody involved. And I love what Scott Lick said, Frank Layden's son, who works in that Utah office in charge of personnel. He said, let me tell you something. He said he distributes the basketball. I love that kind of point guard. And they drafted a guy by the name of John Stockton, who understands how to pass the basketball.
Now Phillips makes his second free throw, and Colorado deficit stands at 10. They'll try some backcourt pressure against the Jayhawks and quickly get it up to the attack court.
Very difficult to trap this team with the kind of ball handlers they have, Kansas.
Turned it over.
I think we will see a little run now by the Colorado gang. I think the Buffs are going to really step it up. Roy got a great start of his club, but Phillips is going to have to score against Vaughn to get some confidence.
And Vaughn continues to track Phillips.
Martise Moore, big-time post player.
And hit that one for his first field goal of the game.
He was one of the 8 rookies of the year that have played for Bobby Kremens at Georgia Tech. Came out of Atlanta out of high school. 93 was the diaper dandy of the year in the ACC.
Shock off the fake, penetrates to the glass, but hold on. He traveled.
Bobby O'Neal with the ball. He blew the whistle in the big leagues. Jacques Vaughn, they say, if he has a turn paper he doesn't like, he does it 6 and 7 times before he turns it in.
You know, Roy Williams didn't agree with this call. You could tell by his reaction.
We take a look at Vaughn now going to penetrate down the lane. Let's see if he takes the extra step. I didn't see any walk. I guarantee at the next level that'll not be a walk. I didn't see any traveling music
he
there.
Could take another step on
you know what
Sunday games.
You know what amazed me out looking at Mr. Vaughn? I sit next to you, and I know you were a brilliant student at Northwestern. I couldn't even spell Northwestern, so you have a lot in common with Vaughn. I had a 4.0. It took me 1.0 my freshman year.
I can't identify with that, but you can see that there was blood, and so he had to leave the game right now. Receiving some medical attention. It's 14-6. See what Colorado can do without Jacques Vaughn out there defensively. Again, they get it down low, but they miss on the turnaround. Kansas has numbers. This is 3-on-1.
Nice pass. Oh, good defense.
And one pass too many, Dick, because Phillips was coming in a hurry.
Great change of direction.
For the step. And chance for the old-fashioned three-point play.
I'll tell you one thing. Great transition basket right there. Chauncey Billups, CB, put a little show on with a little crossover step. Ricardo said, I love my guy, Chauncey. Take a look at Chauncey now. He's going to see the steal defensively. Now watch his change of direction. He goes left. Now he's going to hit the trailer. The reverse. There's the little dump off. And there's the move by Will Smith. They really love this kid. Got him from out of Memphis, played at Hamilton High School, played for Tonday's dad, Ted Anderson.
Dick, that's a 9-1
one run now over the last 2:30 as Colorado slowly climbs back in it.
They go to a half-court trap now. They rotate from the full court pressure to the half-court trap. And here's Ricardo coaching on the sideline.
And Jacques Vaughn returns in a hurry for Coach Williams and the Jayhawks.
They really love Will Smith. They think he's going to be a special player, getting him out of the city of Memphis, where they have so many great players. In fact, this year, Larry Finch lost all 3 stars there. Corey Bradford going to Illinois, Robert O'Kelly to Wake Forest.
Let's see what Harris could do defensively now against Vaughn. They'll move it up to the top. Thomas at 3. Now Colorado a little bit more aggressive on the glass. That was a strong defensive rebound. They put the ball in Billups' hands. Here's Smith going to attack again. Run down by Vaughn in the corner.
Always
you can see Jacques looking for his teammates, Dick, as he eyes the floor. Thomas hits the tray.
Not only is he looking for his teammates, he knows who's the right teammate. Thomas has been hot all year shooting the 3, so he goes right to Thomas with the handle. Very, very smart on the floor. He's got a great basketball IQ.
Now Smith will drop it on the inside to Edmonds, and a foul against the Jayhawks.
Edmonds has really been a difference for
Robertson, and Saturday, another monster attraction coming your way. Wake Forest, Maryland. Maryland beats Duke today, Dick. We watched Wake Forest. They've come through a tough week, beating Clemson. They're now teaming the 7-footer with Duncan. Xavier, UMass, UCLA, Oregon State in the pack. But that Wake Forest-Maryland game should be something next Saturday.
Oh, I can't wait to get to Maryland for that game, because Wake Forest had lost to them in their only L. They lost at the buzzer when the kid Profit hit a 3-point shot. The one thing about Wake, they have a style they believe in. Davey Odom's been super successful, but they keep everybody in the game with their style. They don't blow you out, so you have a chance to beat them. Kentucky's come back in a pack, and Kansas a little bit losing Pollard. Kentucky certainly changes the complexion of their team. They'll still win a lot of games, but playing without Derek Anderson, they're not as effective on a defensive end.
From the floor, Kansas 6 of 11, and Colorado 3 of 12.
Oh, nice skip pass.
Thomas again the 3. Misses this time, 1 and out.
He hit some big threes against Connecticut, who played them really tough, minus their 2 players, King and Ricky Moore. Checked out Fernandez club ready and had an early big start against Kansas.
Oh, nice looking stroke by Will Smith.
His mother cheers like crazy on the sideline. He said, "You're going to hear my mom all over this arena." A teacher, his dad's a mechanical engineer.
I thought Jacques may have turned it over that time and not the earlier time with the dribble. Nevertheless, the turnaround is good, and that's Williams, who has replaced Pollard earlier as a starter.
B.J. Williams gives him a finesse player when they bring him on the floor, and they bring in Pugh. Pugh gives him more of a power player.
I'll tell you, Dick, one thing you told me coming to this game is how tough Kansas is defending the ball, and we have seen that time after time. This is a fine defensive team.
You win with great defense in any sport, Grant. If you're going to get to the winner's circle, you got to play on a defensive end. That's why I think the Patriots are going to give the Packers all the trouble in the world today in that next game. Super Bowl. I mean, that takes second to this, though. This is more important. I know you're smiling.
Well, we had a shorter pregame show. 19-12, Kansas leading.
Very patient offensively. Shot selection so important to Kansas.
That time it was Haas defended, and the Buffaloes bring it back. So it's been a fine comeback here in the first half by the Buffaloes. And the foul goes against the Jayhawks. I believe that's Williams.
Ricardo Patton's been very unique in bringing discipline here, Brent. He, for example, took his team on an etiquette class, let them learn a lot about etiquette. Took them to the county jail to say, hey, you don't want to end up here, baby. Done right there, Brent. His brother, his twin brother, Jerry's done a phenomenal job at Penn State, where last year they electrified America with their great start. Very similar to what's happening here at Colorado. Both football schools, fraternal country, Neuheisel. Where's Neuheisel? I couldn't find him today. Tell me he's at that other football game. Hey, Rick, you should be here. Forget about football.
11 and a half minutes to go. Kansas led at 13-0, then at 16:07. Colorado scored for the first time. Now they can reduce that deficit even further, trailing 19-12, 11:20 to go here in the first half. Griffin, and the tap back is good by Freddie Edmonds.
That's the guy they need to step it up. Last year he was ineligible academically the second semester, and they established discipline when they got rid of one of their leading scorers, Mac Tuck, who didn't adhere to a lot of their rules, and they said bye-bye, Ricardo Patton. And this team really now has cohesiveness. There's that good man-to-man defense for them playing a basketball. They're trying to emulate the defense of Kansas. Look at Patton working that sideline. He's doing a little burst of on the sideline.
Jacques Vaughn finds Hassel on the right wing. And the foul's on Fryer.
The one area Kansas has improved on is the free throw line. They've really improved this year, free throw shooting, and they've also improved their shot selection and the use of the three-point shot, which they have reduced from last year. And you called it earlier. This is one of the giants today in the coaching fraternity. What a record in his 9 years. Amazing.
Dick, I think you would agree with me that when and if Dean Smith calls it one of the great careers ever in North Carolina, the first telephone call is going to Roy Williams. He may say, no, thank you, I love the program we've got going here in Kansas, but he will get the first phone call.
Oh, I think you got a big scoop if it doesn't happen, because he epitomizes all the class that they believe in down in Tar Heel country. But they got some other guys that'll be right there in the hunt. What a job Eddie Fogel is doing at the University of South Carolina, where they're undefeated now in a conference. He's a North Carolina guy. George Carl, North Carolina. Hey, Dean's got a lot of disciples out there.
21-14. Buffalo is down by 7.
They got to get Phillips involved, averaging 20 a game, and he's not involved offensively.
He's 0 for 3 from the floor, and again the Jayhawks attack the ball, force the turnover, and Jacques Vaughn will bring it back down now. This is a team that returned its entire starting lineup, has been beset by injuries. They expect to be healthy for the tournament. They pounded into Williams. He kisses the glass, and the lead is now 23-14.
They're so versatile. They got so many parts in their puzzle.
There's DeGray.
Junior college player, jumper, guy that really they play by committee in the post. They don't have a true post player.
Yes.
So much balance. They hurt you in so many different ways. And I'll tell you one thing, they showed a lot of character when they came back to beat Cincinnati. And then 48 hours later, they blew out UCLA.
So Billups still unable to find his shot. He's 0 for 4 from the field, and he has missed from three-point land repeatedly.
See, I think that's the presence of war. Those are the little things you don't see in a box score. Jacques Vaughn defensively, taking away and neutralizing the great ability of Chauncey Billups.
Tracks him down on the inside, and then he jumped over from the weak side to help out. There was Jacques Vaughn at his best. He just moved off Billups, sealed up the big man on that side, but the ball is going to go back now to Colorado on the turnover.
Good recognition, Coach, Mr. Musburger. Hey, your partner, Dickie V. Vermeil's going out for the mega dollars to the coaching fraternity in the NBA, as we see him right here.
I'm working on you, Dick.
Yeah.
Is there any job you can like?
Oh, wow.
There's Billups.
Nice pass.
But Griffin couldn't make the shot.
You got to finalize. You got to convert there. Always looking to get numbers. They're always looking to get numbers.
Pierce missing. Williams tries to keep it alive. Can't. And Colorado comes down trailing by 10.
See, Billups could develop his own one-on-one maneuver off the dribble. He's got to use that dribble move to get free.
The French with the rebound.
See, that's the one area they do not excel in, Colorado. On the glass, they're not really a great rebounding team. Yet they're 15-3, winning 8 in a row.
And Moore reaches over and fouls Pierce.
One of their 3 losses, lost to George Mason, and a real surprise, Paul Westhead and company, and they lost a tough one to Georgia and a tough one to Louisville in a championship out in Hawaii.
Well, Dick, there's one of your favorites, Sinbad.
Yeah,
and the American Music Awards. He'll be the host tomorrow on the network.
Is Babyface going to be there? He got nominated for so many Emmys. Babyface got to be one of your favorite guys. Now, come on, Brett. You follow that music scene.
Oh, yes.
Come on. You're a Sinatra guy. I know. You're My Way. See, My Way's your theme.
My favorite musician right now is Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, he's rapping big time, making all kinds of cash. Shaquille, his favorite tune is ding-a-ling-ding, ding-a-ling-ding, and the cash register goes ding-a-ling-ding. Show me the money, Tom Cruise, baby, and Cuba Gooding, one of my favorite movies, Jerry Maguire, show me the money, baby.
So Pierce at the free throw line makes it a 28-16 game, and it's 12.
They're going to set some high screens for Billups to get him off the screen. up his dribble. So the other thing, they're getting nothing easy at all.
Look at Jacques Vaughn. They picked him clean. Attacks the other end. Who says this man can't play in the NBA? What are they watching?
I'll tell you one thing, he's going to play for somebody and be a major factor at that point guard slot, an area where you need a leader. With the right team, he will be effective with the right personnel. Plus, the one thing in the coaching profession, you wouldn't have to worry about getting this kid ready to play. He may not be 6'1", but who cares? He's handling a rock. You're not measuring him to be a 7-footer on the inside. And there's that superb quickness. Had that broken wrist, missed the first 10 games.
7:56, first half. All Jayhawks. And a donation of $1,000 to the University of Kansas for ongoing research.
I'll tell you what a great choice with Jacques Vaughn. I think he's going to be the governor eventually of the state of California. Governor Vaughn. Nice turnover. They got to convert here. Force the turnover. They got to look for conversion. Phillips is moving to the second guard now.
Air ball from the corner.
Weston Hughes got a special player. That's really a special
Connecticut
guy.
really struggles now with King having been suspended, Dick. That's going to be a tough go up there.
I think the suspension was too severe. I really do. I think that maybe suspend him for 3-4 games, but for his whole career, it was just one plane ticket. Personally, I believe kids should get room, board, books, tuition, and at least one round-trip ticket a year should be part of the scholarship package.
Edwards now hits it to Smith, and the Jay is on the money.
I like
Dick, that air ball from the corner. Including last year's Big 8 tournament game, Colorado now has missed 19 consecutive three-point shots against Kansas. That's an amazing statistic.
I'll tell you, I love the research you do, Mr. Musburger. I will walk it. Oh, they don't get a walk. They get a foul before the walk-in violation. The crowd has not been able to get in this game. Ricardo Patton trying to motivate his club on that sideline. We're going to see now. See, the contact comes first, then the walk. Good call by the official. Contact was prior to the walk. You know what he's done? You and I saw it in the locker room. Wasn't that unique? He has a frame photo frame that's empty, and he wants to put the picture of the first team that ever makes it to the NCAA tournament here while he's coaching, and it's empty. And I'm going to tell you something. I firmly believe they're going to put the picture of this year's team in that frame. He's a motivator, and he's a disciplinarian. He was a cameraman at one time. That's right. 5 years he worked the camera.
Cameraman.
Yeah.
News shows. Asked him if he was a good cameraman. He said, yes, I was.
Yeah, ready maybe to make an application right there at ESPN and ABC.
Turn it over again.
This kid Robertson
filled in for Vaughn, didn't he?
played so well. They were a different-looking club with Robertson.
Pierce got in a little bit too close to the iron.
Come on, Chauncey's got to turn it up. He's got to turn it up offensively. He's got to try to attack with his dribble. He's playing too much on a perimeter, playing too soft. He's too talented. He's got to attack.
Foul on the Jayhawks. Now to show you what Dick was talking about. Here
Look
is
at that.
Picture, the team that got it done, the empty frame inside the Colorado locker room, and the words of wisdom from Roger Staubach. Nothing good comes in life or athletics unless a lot of hard work has preceded that effort. Isn't that the truth?
They say genius is 1% inspiration is a saying and 99% perspiration. And I say amen to that. The harder I work, the luckier I get. And luck is when preparation meets opportunity, Mr. Musburger. I just love all those sayings.
And Jacques returns. His Jayhawk team leading by 11, 6:20 to go.
Kentucky on a winner's side again over Arkansas. Maryland with that big win over Duke. I still think Duke's going to be a tough club to reckon with as the season progresses. Indiana coming off that big win over Michigan. Texas, I like that team as well. Fire.
This Kansas defense has been something. Fryer forced to pull the perimeter short. He's in and out. They'll look for Jacques Vaughn. And so does Martise Moore.
Fryer's a good defensive player, a very attacking player on a defensive end, not a long-range shooter, but gives him a spark off the bench. There he is now going to try to check Vaughn, who beats him off the dribble, kicks it out.
It's very rimmed out. Pass goes to run it down. Does an excellent job of tracking that loose rebound.
Always making that one extra pass, Kansas.
Then he hits the three.
See, he's really improved that this year. Last year struggled from three-point range.
Jared Haas. Loose on the floor.
Liverpool
goes and takes it away.
You don't see that,
baby.
You don't see that in a box score, baby. All the little things, the intangibles.
Thomas misses the three.
They have really put the blanket on Chauncey Billups here in his first half. They have put the blanket on him. He's got the 3 ring sign, doesn't he? The Valentine sign years ago. Remember? Zip, zip, and zip. I used to love it when Mel Allen used to call that.
23, and Chauncey is 0 of 4. The goose egg for their leading scorer. He has hit 2 free throws, and there's a reminder of what's ahead on Wide World of Sports next Saturday. The European Figure Skating Championships. Always a nice show there. And here, Chauncey Billups, Colorado's leading scorer and perhaps the finest high school player ever turned out in this state, continues to struggle against Jacques Vaughn and this suffocating Kansas Jayhawk defense. Kansas leads it by 14.
You know, you mentioned best high school player possibly in this state, and they were pretty good players here. Michael Ray Richardson came out of here. Tom Chambers, who went on to star in the NBA. They did a great article on Chauncey today, a major 2-page feature for local papers. He said the reason he came here, the only guy that would tell him to come here was Stan Stewart, the barber. The barber said, you got to come. He said, when the barber tells you to come because he's got the razor at your throat. He said, everybody else was telling me to go to Georgia Tech, go to Kansas, go to all these big-time schools. And he said, I'm so happy I stayed at home. So, Big Stan, you're the reason that he's here. Stan didn't know he's going to get PR today, did he?
Come on over here and straighten out his shot.
Hey, maybe you can give me a haircut. Hey, Stan, will you give me a haircut?
Little, lightning bolt right there in the middle. The distinctive look of Chauncey.
With my bald dome, you're not getting anything on my head.
You know, one of the things through the years, Dick, you and I have seen great players, and no question, this young man's just having an off day. 2 things can happen here. He can either come back strong in the second half and right some of the wrongs of his earlier performance, or he'll continue to have an off day. We have seen some great basketball players just have afternoons like that.
And I think some of this off days got to be attributed to the defensive ability of Kansas, and specifically Jacques Vaughn, who took him head-to-head.
There's a question about that.
And I'll tell you another thing, they're not going to beat this team without Chauncey Billups putting some big numbers on the board.
At the perimeter again. This time to get an offensive rebound, and Hughes will try the throw.
Hughes out of junior college, came in here, give him some spark this year. I'm amazed how they take everybody's best hit Kansas, and yet they respond. Do you know how difficult it is to be sitting here at 19 and zip, the major college this year, with the parity and traveling, and playing the likes of the UCLAs, the Cincinnatis. 19 and zip. Roy Williams' second year, and then lost to Missouri, and they got beaten in the second round. They were 30-5 that year, got beaten in the second round by UCLA.
Well, Chauncey's going to check back in at the next dead ball. There's a foul on the 3. He's going to shoot 3 free throws. There's 3.5 minutes now remaining in the first half. And if Chauncey and his teammates could put together a little rally, they could go in here at the intermission and have a little optimism, at least to build on, because the crowd has been flat. Kansas, in case you joined it late, Kansas reeled off a 13-0 lead, and it was almost 4 minutes into the game before Colorado scored. Now, Colorado hasn't scored since the 6:58 mark. And John Saunders will be along at halftime, the network MCI report. Hughes now, remember, these are 3 free throws.
You know, Brent, you mentioned the crowd, and the crowd basically gets into it because you make them get into it by your play. Just like Indiana I had the other day playing without Andre Patterson. They came out, they had an unbelievable run early. The crowd got into it big time, and Michigan had a tough time all night long. Today, the crowd is sitting here silent because, as you said, that 13-zip run by Kansas.
And remember, this area was depressed anyway. The Broncos aren't in the Super Bowl today, so they were hoping to escape it with a good performance from the Colorado basketball team here today, so this is a double blow to the area. And,
oh, look at the cheese heads here.
There's someone that says, Mr. Vitale, you're crazy. The Packers will roll.
Parcells, baby. Parcells knows how to win.
Parcells can't pass rush Brett Favre, though. Timeout.
College basketball on ABC. Brought to you by Toyota and their full line of quality cars and trucks. Head and Shoulders, because great hair can have flakes. U.S. Navy. Navy, let the journey begin. And Wendy's delicious spicy chicken sandwich. It'll make you feel warm all over.
Well, last year in the Big 8 tournament, Chauncey Billups was 1 of 12 when Kansas knocked him out in that opening game. He is now 1 of his last 16 against this Jayhawk defense. And here's Jacques Vaughn getting the ball right back and hitting Pierce.
He's going to see Jacques Vaughn in his dreams tonight, Mr. Billups.
LaFrance missed from underneath.
They need to run right now. They got to get a little spurt to get this under 10. And if they can go in under 10 without a big performance out of Billups, they'll look at some confidence coming out at halftime.
Billups got on the inside, missed the shot. Rebound Kansas. 3:02 to go, 36-23.
How good was Billups earlier this year at 28-29 on the road against Missouri and Texas Tech. Texas Tech had 35 in a row, and they beat them in the last minute with a super performance by Billups. He's saying, please don't show that zip for 5. Come on, those are John Saunders' numbers. Those aren't my numbers. That's Johnny S. Those are not Johnny S.'s numbers when he's got the hockey skates on, I can tell you that.
There's also a big discrepancy in rebounding in this game. 17 for Kansas and 8 for Colorado. At the front court rebounding right now. The Jayhawks up front have also outscored them, Dick, 20-11.
You know, the rebounding totals don't shock me. If you look at the numbers, Kansas has been an outstanding rebound club. 12+ margin. Where you look at Colorado, not really a strong rebounding team. Take that free throw. You talk about rebounding. They got a kid coming in next year, Jamal Mosley, 6'8" from San Diego. One of the top 50 players in America they're excited about. And A.K. Thomas also coming in from out of New York City. Kenny Price, a JUCO player. They're excited about their recruiting here at Colorado.
Well, the lead's at 11. Got a chance now to get it under 10 if they come with a stop here.
And they just really haven't played well at all. Nice block right there. Shot block right there. Good rotation. For the lob. There's the dunk. Yes, sir. Here comes the crowd, Brad. Here comes the crowd.
That's what they needed prior to the half.
Uncle Mo has arrived. Uncle Mo has arrived. If they're going to stop here, this place will go bananas.
Punt penetrates. Left-hand shot off the mark, and Fryer was stepping out of bounds. Over the last 2:11 now, Colorado is on a 7-0 run.
What a great play by Ronnie DeGray out of junior college. He's got the great lift, the great legs, but he doesn't just block the shot. He's the first guy down the floor. Look at him up and away. Yes, Mr. DeGray, Ronnie D out in transition. Jam City. They're only down 9. It's amazing. You would sit here thinking they're being blown out when we're watching.
Now they're hitting only 29%, but Kansas has cooled off too. They're down to 39% for the game.
Kansas shot 28% on the road against Kansas State and won. You think that's telling you that defense is important? 28% and won.
Vaughn turned it over.
This crowd wants to get in it so badly, Brent. They are waiting. They are waiting to just jump out of their seats. The Buffs want to get into it, the Buff fans. Probability tells me Billups is due to score. I'd go to him, even though he's struggling. I'd say, look, you're our All-American. You got to step it up, big guy. We need you, Chauncey. You got to step it up.
Instead, it's Fryer with a little jump step off balance.
Bad shot.
Hastow put it down. Billups is waiting, though.
Really a bad shot. In that possession, you're down 9.
Oh, they called the foul on Haas. And Roy Williams is upset about this call.
He takes off that Armani special. We're going to watch this now. They call Haas with the left hand. I don't know about that call.
Oh, that was a strange call, and Williams is all over the official on that side.
Sometimes you don't blame those guys on the sideline getting upset. This could be a 4-point turnaround. Instead of being down 11, you can get it down to 7.
Haas is taking Billups. And Haas picked him. He comes in. He travels.
Chauncey Billups is playing with the ball too much. He's got to use the screen a little bit more to get free. Look at Roy working that sideline. Final 4 at 93, 91 in the Final 4. There's Jared Haas with that tenacious defense. And now he's going to lose control of the ball. See, he gets behind him.
5 minute. Good spurt by the Buffaloes to climb back in it. Here's Chauncey. Steps on the inside. Dishes out of bounds. No one there on the baseline.
Trying to make that spectacular pass. He almost went to Kansas. In fact, the last scholarship they gave in his class was to Paul Pierce. So they didn't have any more scholarships. And Roy Williams said it was the toughest call he ever had to make to say, I have no more scholarships.
Kansas last scored at the 4:35 mark in this game.
See, that's the one area you and I talked about off the air. We said the one concern when you look at this Kansas team is making shots from the perimeter. And that could be a nightmare, especially in the postseason when you meet quality competition and trying to string 6 in a row to win the national title.
Playing without 6'11" Scott Pollard. They've missed him on several trips in this game.
Scott's a big
and
loss.
They turned it over again, Vaughn does. And now Hughes comes back on him. Final shot time. Hughes will attack. Attacked early, swatted away.
Not getting good shots in their half-court offense. Not really getting enough ball movement and player movement. As Ricardo whistling on that sideline. I'll tell you one thing, though, psychologically, he's got to be content to go in where he's at because it could have been really a 20, 25-point deficit the way they played here offensively, Colorado.
Well, cut this now. Another deuce, and they'll go into a big ovation, but they missed. Kansas with time. And Williams will set a play. Not happy with how things are going.
I'll tell you, he loves those California kids. He's got a 7-footer coming in next year. Remember this name, Eric Chenoweth, a 7-footer from out of California. And Kenny Gregory, who got 46 the other night, Friday night, from Columbus, Ohio. He'll be wearing a uniform here in Kansas. Lester Earl is sitting out from out of LSU. John Saunders ready for that halftime report, that ACC. Next week, I can't wait for that game. Wake Forest, and certainly Duke. I'll have Wake Forest and Maryland, rather. I'll have Duke and North Carolina Wednesday night on ESPN. Anytime those two hook up, I think it's the best rivalry in all of college basketball. Watch them go inside, trying to get a little two-man game between Vaughn and LaFrentz. No, he's going to shoot the jumper.
And hit the 3. Jacques Vaughn hits the 3 as the first half comes to an end.
That'll break your back. That's a momentum builder back for Kansas.
Stay tuned for John Saunders with scores and highlights after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
They were blanked 0 for 7. Can't win with those numbers, Brent.
Colorado with the first possession of the second half. And here is Billups, who will try to see what he can do against the defensive prowess of Jacques Vaughn.
Also, the starting front court for Kansas really had the advantage, 20-9 in terms of scoring productivity. They got to have a great spurt here. The first 4 minutes, they have to come out, Colorado, get their crowd involved, get this guy involved.
And it is knocked aside this time, and Billups continues to struggle just as he did in the Big 8 tournament in Kansas City, and now here again today.
I tell you, you and I were so excited to see him play today because we've heard nothing but rave reviews from everybody about Chauncey Billups, coaches, players, Phil Ford, Tony at North Carolina, big time. NBA scouts, big time.
Edmonds with the turnaround for the Buffaloes.
They played together in high school. George Washington High School won the state championship. Won several there under Billups. Edmonds was there earlier. Double up on a post. Double up on a post.
Possession arrow favors Kansas.
See, that's why I hate this rule. There's a perfect example. A great job defensively, and you get penalized. The other club gets the ball. Get rid of that rule. Throw it up. It's not fair to kids that bust their gut. There's a prime example, Brent. Come on, Brent. I want you to be the spokesman for that. I want you to wipe that rule out. Nobody can wipe something out better than Brent Musburger. Come on, attack it.
Well, I will if you'll take a breath.
Exactly what they had to do. Get the first 5 points at halftime.
41-32 with 18:57. One and out this time for Kansas, Dick. So Colorado now can put together, and this has to really pick up Phillips' confidence.
Well, he's always been a big second-half player. Charge.
Offensive foul called on Chauncey.
Good call by Tommy O'Neill. Jock Vaughn did a tremendous job anticipating his move to the left. Watch Jock anticipates. He anticipates the crossover. He beat him to the spot. He beat him to the spot.
You know, Chauncey just looked over at O'Neill and shook his head like, good call. He knew he had done it. 41-32. Kansas with the ball in the lead, and this is Jacques Vaughn.
Nice step out by Colorado. Double it up on Vaughn.
Inside. And they double up on Williams, who stays with it. But now French cleans up.
Size inside. That's the one area they have to really go out and recruit some big players. When you talk Colorado, they don't have a lot of size.
Edmonds on the turnaround. The foul is called. Kentucky a winner by 10 today. And Maryland wins by 4 over Duke.
Hey, Carolina's leading Clemson right now at home. Remember this, Clemson, 42 trips to Chapel Hill, 0 for 42. Marquette, Michael Dean in that Conference USA when Sandy Louisville and Cincinnati. I got that game Thursday up in Louisville. Denny Plum doing one phenomenal job beating UCLA yesterday. Have you seen Louisville play?
Only on television.
Oh,
you were over the
impressive.
game. I watched it one night.
They're impressive. I'll tell you, they really play well together. They got 2 losses. Lost to heartbreaking to Memphis. Lost to Kentucky. But what a job. 600 wins and better now for Denny Plum.
It's a point Jayhawk lead. This is Pierce on a smooth turnaround.
See, he's a big-time player. I don't think he gets enough touches because he doesn't work as hard without the ball. That's an area he's got to improve on. Be a little bit more active. Pierce is big-time in every way.
That time for Gray couldn't get it done, but Edmonds comes up firing. 0 for 2 on that trip. Loose ball, scramble underneath, and Edmonds collided with LaFrentz, and the foul is called on Colorado. Well, let's take a look at what the network's got in store tonight. Lois and Clark, America's Funniest Home Videos, and then the movie Hijacked, Flight 285. That's your ABC lineup. It starts at 7 Eastern, 6 Central.
This crowd is just dying to break out and explode. They had that one moment when they made that little run in the first half. But other than that, just been in control of the tempo of the game. Stepping out on Vaughn.
Tried to shoot it up over the bigger man.
Phillips got to take charge. A little one-on-one maneuver. Look at Vaughn right up on it. Look at his concentration. Look at his look, his focus on his eyes. Does a good job. Good point.
Great play.
Hello, yes, sir.
Wonderful cut by Will Smith off a fake.
I like Will Smith. That diaper dandy's going to be a special player here. Comes from that great city of Memphis where they produce so many players. In the past, they were always staying home, but now they're leaving. Tony Harris, great player. We're going to Tennessee next year.
There's Haas. He's been on the money all day.
He plays
He's
on
the
both
leading
sides.
scorer.
He plays on both sides of the floor, and that's what makes their guard combination as good as anyone in America.
Phillips, it's his second 3.
He's starting to warm it up now. It's only a matter of time. As they say, Brent, the cream always rises.
48-39.
They're hanging around. They can't knock him out. They haven't been able to knock him out.
Vaughn misses.
That shot right there. I'd go to Phillips. I'd go to Phillips. I feel he's going to get going here. He's going to get going. Yes, sir. He's going to get going, Mr. Musburger. Oh, this crowd's been waiting for that. Tickling the twine. Chauncey Phillips, a big timer.
Inside with a 6-point lead. And ball goes out of bounds, and a foul is called by Garibaldi.
Hey, people, remember this. We got the #1 team in America, the only unbeaten team in America, the Kansas Jayhawks. And I'll tell you right now, Roy's got to be concerned. Phillips is heating it up.
Phillips.
On ABC, brought to you by Boost, the perfect snack for imperfect people. The United States Army Reserve, be all you can be. MCI, is this a great time or what? And Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most.
Storms to within 6. They were behind by 7 at one point in the first half. They gave up the first 13 points of the game. Phillips is now the Buffaloes' leading scorer with 11. Goes for more, and now it's 14.
I'll tell you,
It's his third tray in a row.
just a matter of time. He's just too talented. All the reviews have been 5-star reviews about Chauncey Billups, and now it's even picking up his defense. He's really picking up psychologically, defensively.
Pierce on the run, the miss, and now Phillips brings it down again. Colorado trails only by 3.
We got something special brewing here now, Mr. Musburger.
Loose, Phillips dribbles away with it, penetrates, and a blocking foul against Kansas.
Phillips coming into this game shooting 40% from three-point range. He took the blank in the first half. 4 of the last 5 threes. They were 0 for 7 in the first half. What an amazing job when you think where this program was. I really feel the 3 most amazing jobs this year: Xavier, Maryland, and certainly Colorado. Maryland lost 4 starters. We'll be there this weekend. Kim Belton, I know, can't wait to get to our producer to see Tim Duncan and Wake Forest of Maryland.
Phillips has triggered this comeback. It's a 9-0 run. All 3s by Phillips now over the last 140.
They're trying to keep the ball out of his hands. See, now they're laying that screen for him, getting him a little help. He's going to try and take him one-on-one. He's got that nice change of direction.
And a pushing foul called on Hess.
I love the change of direction. Tim Hardaway has it from over at playing in Miami. Hardaway has a great change of direction, a former Texas El Paso. There's that front change. Speaking of Texas El Paso, Don Haskins better get in the Hall of Fame. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for what he's done at Texas El Paso.
Agreed.
The Big Bear.
Baseline pass. And DeGray is fouled.
I'll tell you, Brent, do you feel like I feel that Uncle Mo has really rotated over to the Colorado Buffs? There's that drive and a kick out by Phillips. Stay tuned, Johnny S. John Saunders. We got something big brewing here, and it's because of this architect. Ricardo Patton, discipline. Nothing like having discipline. He stepped in here, and that's the first thing he did, was say, we're going to do things the right way. He took him to the Denver County Jail. He says, guys, let's listen to a seminar here. You want to act like a foolish? Because they've had some problems here in this program with some of their players. And he's not about to take it, Mr. Patton. He said, I want guys that are going to handle themselves like true student athletes.
Kansas lead has shrunk to 2.
Can you believe this? The way they played in that first half. We thought we were looking at a blowout.
Here's penetrates, and he's fouled, so he'll come up to the free throw line.
Hey, for people that joined us late, remember this, as Brent said a little bit earlier. They jumped out Kansas 13-zip, and it looked like we were heading for blowout country. Special when you're Kansas, because you take everybody's hit. The jersey says Kansas, says #1 in America. It's like we spoke last week. Certain football programs, the Notre Dames, the Nebraskas, they take everybody's best hit. Florida State. Yes, and I know the Seminoles, not only the Seminoles, the Gators at Florida as well. Look at Wall on that sideline, a 72 graduate of North Carolina. 282 and 56. What a 232 and 56.
A 3-point lead for his Jayhawks. Billups back. Pass taking him as Jacques Vaughn is on the Kansas bench right now. And Smith on the turnaround will step to the free throw line and shoot 2.
See, they're able to invert Smith. Smith can play out on the wing. He can play on the backcourt. He's going to be a special player. Ricardo really loves him. Great student, computer science major, dad chemical engineer, mom a teacher. There's Will inside with that size as a guard. Rotates to the post position.
Smith at the free throw line with about shooting 2.
He told me that his school, told me before the game, he said they have a kid at my high school in Hamilton named Parrish London, a junior. He got something like 50-some points the other day and 22 rebounds. He said, remember that name, Dickie V, Parrish London.
Not a bad performance, eh?
Not bad. I mean, that's the big leagues. That's in your league. That's like our producer, Kim Dalton, because he was great when he played in New York. High school, then went to Stanford.
Kansas gets it across the timeline. Working against the trap,
They're struggling. They're struggling right now. The Jayhawks are really struggling offensively. This guy didn't allow his team to quit when they got down. He kept working that sideline. His administrative assistant, Michael Sykes, was a manager at Kansas last year. Matt Doherty was teasing him, said, hey, you brought all this success by arriving here, Mr. Sykes. Intense competitor, Roy Williams, 80% winning record, second best in college basketball to Jerry Tarkanian. Nice cut without the ball.
And a foul against Colorado on the cut.
Nice cut by LaFrance, great free throw shooter, had 20 in a row coming into this game.
Personal foul number 2, team foul number 4 for Colorado.
4 team fouls on Colorado, 6 on Kansas here in the second half. Kansas still without Jacques Vaughn. And Haas nails the 3.
Big possession, Jared Haas steps out and knocks it down.
19 points for Jared. And away from the ball against Kansas.
Look at Jared talking to the official, hugging Tommy O'Neill, saying, I need some help right now. I'm playing Kid Phillips. Look at him, look at him talking out and sitting. He's talking to Kerry sitting. Boy worked 10 years for Dean Smith as an assistant coach. Bob Frederick deserves a lot of credit. I've said it so often. The athletic director, the guts to hire a guy who never called a timeout as a major college coach. That's why I think we got a lot of guys out there like the Ricardo Pattons of the world who never get opportunities, Brent. Just like in football, man. You know Sherman Lewis. I happen to know him a little from out of Michigan State. You can't tell me that that guy doesn't deserve a head coaching job in the NFL. I mean, that is a joke with all the jobs that have been available. He's the Green Bay Packers offensive coordinator. Great
and he's
guy.
about to be a very busy man in about 45 minutes.
Great guy, too. Just
Edmonds
a great
hits the free throw. And the Cheeseheads will be wondering.
It's the most team to win it today, and I'm telling you, Patriots, take it. Is Bledsoe and Parcells today. Full court trap.
2-point lead, and Jacques Vaughn back now to run the floor for the Jayhawks.
Oh, nice pass.
And probably a good foul in that situation. They were going to give up the deuce, and so DeGray took the foul, made sure he did not make the field goal, and put him to the free throw line.
We're going to look at the diagonal pass. There's the excellent pass against the trap. Bring it into B.J. Williams. Force him to go to the line. As Mr. Musburger said, good foul.
You know, Dick, turnaround is fair play because the Colorado women led Kansas 14 yesterday, and Lawrence, the Jayhawk women came back and won that game. So maybe the men are going to have a little payback here.
Marianne Washington does a great job with that Kansas program. Seal Barry has a program here that's outstanding. They had over 10,000 fans yesterday. He's a 57% free throw shooter, so that's the guy they wanted on the line, Colorado.
Now for the tie or the lead with a 3.
Can you imagine if
An
they
amazing comeback here by the Buffaloes. Billups will go for the lead. Missed it into Williams' hands. Place would have erupted. Roof would have come off if he'd hit that baby.
BJ very active, good rebounder, runs the court really well.
LaFrance. And the lead is 4.
They always find a way to make the big basket, Kansas. That's what makes them so special. Whenever somebody comes at them, they find a way to get the big possession. Discipline, shot selection. A lot of patience being shown by the Colorado kids. They didn't panic when they fell behind, Brent. You and I were ready to panic because it was 13-7, but they didn't panic.
Griffin's blocked by LaFrance, so he puts together back-to-back positive plays with a field goal and now a block.
Colorado's got to come up with a stop here. See, I'd slide LaFrentz inside. I'd go right at Griffin inside and bring the ball to LaFrentz.
Thomas, short on the three.
He's not bashful looking at that three because he could really knock it down. Just as Jim Calhoun and connect.
Flavor hospitals use most.
Remember when a candy bar used to cost a dime? Nowadays, it seems like you have to use a credit card to pay for just about everything. Unfortunately, credit cards are getting more and more homeowners in trouble. But the Money Store can help you consolidate all of your high-rate credit cards and other loans into one low monthly payment. All it takes is just one phone call, and you could be on your way to saving hundreds each month. You can't buy a candy bar for a dime anymore, but you can call the Money Store toll-free at 1-800-LOAN-YES.
I'm in charge. I can make appointments. I can break appointments. I can call a meeting. I could call Hong Kong. I am in complete control. I just wish I could open these windows.
On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
There's a medical emergency, but no hospital. What do you do? Build one. Leadership. Learn it now in the Army Reserve. Use it now in your career.
ACC rivals battle as Wake Forest takes on Maryland. Xavier meets UMass, or UCLA faces Oregon State. It's Payne Weber College Basketball, Saturday on ABC.
So it is suddenly 54-52. The first time since the 60s that two ranked teams have met in Boulder. Roy Williams, the coach of the #1 and the only unbeaten team left, the Kansas Jayhawks, with the lead in the ball.
And they change defenses during a timeout. They go to a 1-1-3, which really looks like a 2-3 matchup on a first pass to the wing. See them matching up on the guards. Playing the 2-3, gonna make him shoot over the top. Got to find Thomas. He's the shooter. You got to find him.
And he continues to struggle with that shot. LaFrentz down on the floor, couldn't come up. Tracked down by Moore, and Martise gives it back to Billups and gets it right back, right baseline. Missed, but an offensive rebound. Billups wants it on the outside. Wants to go on Vaughn. In his face. Missed. Williams rebounds.
The guy that's got to really step it up is Martise Moore.
Vaughn was shaken up on that collision. Slowly getting up now. Wipes his forehead and brings it down for the Jayhawks.
Martise could be under the weather yet. He's been sick the last 3 days. They said he's got a little touch of bronchitis. Practiced a little bit yesterday. He's been big for them all year, rebounding.
Loose on the floor again. This time the possession arrow favors Colorado.
Brent, seriously, do you like this rule?
I hate it.
I can't
agree with
stand
you.
it.
Always have.
It penalizes defensive efforts. This guy's Mr. Intensity on that sideline. He's really such a fighter and scrapper. What makes him special, he does things the right way. As players walk down the aisle, they get the diploma, they play as a team, play as a unit.
You know, Dick, Jimmy Ressler passed along word that why don't I like Michael Jordan as a guard?
Oh, yeah.
I don't consider Jordan a pure guard. I think he does whatever he wants on the basketball court.
Yeah, our producer, Jimmy said, hey, what about Mr. Jordan when you said Peyton was the best guard? I didn't want to jump in on you there, but I was thinking Michael the Magnificent, but you're right. He's all world. He's all world. You don't even compare him and everybody else. Just ask Coach Van Gundy. Call him up in the Knicks when he put him up for 51, baby.
James Fryer. Missed air ball for Colorado. Missed badly, but the hand was up, deflected, run down by Vaughn.
There's that passing game, swinging it side to side, then into the post.
LaFrentz for the left baseline. Kansas is struggling offensively right now. They can't seem to get it done. They're shooting 40% for the game.
See, they miss inside Pollard. I'm not trying to make excuses and alibis, but when you take an important part of your roster away from you, Pollard right now would be up there on the offensive boards. He's 6'11". He's got good touch. He's a tremendous defensive player. Nice play. Good special play, special situations, the conversion by Thomas.
And it's a 4-point lead for the Jayhawks. Edmonds off the fake, penetrates, and he's fouled. So he'll be shooting. Foul is on Williams.
Edmonds, a very active player.
So again, a reminder, next Saturday, the European Figure Skating Championships coming your way. Classic. Take a look at Evel Knievel.
Ooh, is he still operating, huh? Evel Knievel.
Still got a couple of bones that haven't been broken.
Look here at the free throw line. You know, on the sideline also coaching right now at Colorado, Dave Moe, Doug Moe's son. And Dave, he brought good luck. There's a look at Dave. He was a grad assistant at Kansas under Larry Brown in '88 when Danny and the Miracles. He carried that team, Danny Manning, and they won the national title. 12-8 at one time with that team in '88. There's Dave Moe. And he's better looking. He must look like the mother. He don't look like Doug. No way does he look like Doug. Former North Carolina player, Doug Moe. He's got a radio show out here in Denver.
Does very well with it. He's got a great sense of humor. There's a, I believe it's on Phillips. Yeah.
His mother said the difference right now in his club and in the past, you got to wear earplugs when you come to the game. His mother Faye, so proud of her son Chauncey. He wanted to stay home so his family could see him play coming out of Denver. He's one of the great Souths in America. There's about 6 or 7 that really stand out, and he's in that group.
Haas shooting the free throws with the Jayhawks up now by 3.
Haas was over at California when they had Jason Kidd. Been a steady player, transferred just like Rex Walters when he transferred from their old school Northwestern and came over to Kansas and hooked up with Adonis Jordan for an outstanding backcourt.
Phillips knocked away, and this time he is fouled by Vaughn.
Yeah, Vaughn gets caught for putting his hand on the interior. Chauncey's got that special change of direction. There it is. A little carry, but gets away with it.
Dick, you were talking about transfers. Roy Williams doesn't take one. Supposedly the most controversial now is Lester Earl because Dale Brown is not letting him out of his commitment to LSU. I'll make a prediction right now that Dale will eventually change his mind, drop it, and Lester will play a couple of years. He's already working out with the Jayhawks over there, and Dale's probably just upset and emotional at the moment, getting out of the business, probably a little distracted by that. I don't think there's any reason to take it the young man.
Well, I think that he was really upset also to find out about it on national television when he saw Lester Earl sitting on the sideline and he didn't come to him and let him know about it. I think that bothered him. But I agree with you. I think when it's all said and done, Dale will say, hey, let the kid go on with his life.
Now we've got 9 minutes and 30 seconds. It's a 1-point game.
Walking violation. Tommy O'Neill with the walking call. You know, we're going to miss Dale on that sideline too, Brent.
Agreed.
I'll tell you, he brought a lot of special moments down there at LSU. They can criticize the guy all they want, but he brought a lot of excitement for 25 years to a program that was practically dead when he arrived.
So Colorado has never led in this game. Fell behind 13-0. It's been all uphill. And let's see what they can do now. Trailing by 1. They go for the lead. To put back by Griffin, but the foul. And so they'll shoot now for the tie at the line.
Remember, this club is unbeaten right now in the Big 12. And remember, they got that frame inside. That's empty. And they're saying, well, we get a team to go to the NCAA tournament, 1 of the 64. You're going to see the foul coming up right now.
I don't think I've seen a coach substitute this much since, well, the heyday of Dean Smith, the way Patton operates that sideline over there. He has been shuttling players in and out all game long.
He's been impressive. We talked to him before the game. Very impressive guy. I really believe there are a lot of Ricardo Patton out there who just need an opportunity. For example, guys like Derek Wittenberg, guys like, for example, Jesse Evans at Arizona, Tommy Amica at Duke. All they need is the phone to ring and give them a chance.
Now,
it seems everywhere we go, we have some great games, Brent. I'll tell you, we had that Kentucky-Mississippi game, the OT game, Michigan and Duke. It's been unbelievable. I have so many trips. I don't know where we were last week. We had a great game last week. I don't even know where we were.
North Carolina.
Oh, we were at Carolina last week? And that wasn't a great game. They beat, didn't they beat Georgia Tech? Wow, thanks a lot. Between that game and that game, I've had about 4 others.
62-61, Colorado leading Kansas. You had a great Indiana game during the week.
Oh, yeah, Indiana, Michigan. Also, Florida State beating North Carolina was a good one.
And they've turned it over. Kansas ball.
Timeout on the floor.
The Colorado Buffaloes leading 62-61. We'll have more after this message and word from our ABC stations.
She knew where she was headed, and it wasn't to a bigger office with longer hours, where you phone home good nights to your kids. She has her own business now, and along the way found a broker who kept her focused on where she was going. She gave up the big office and a view, but what she's seeing is her kids growing up. How'd she get there?
More research, insight, understanding. Payne Weber. Invest with more intelligence.
People here communicate mind to mind.
There is no race. There are no genders.
There is no age.
No age.
There are no infirmities. There are only minds.
Only minds.
Utopia?
No.
No. The internet. Where minds, doors, and lives open up.
Is this a great time or
what? You're watching ABC.
I'm celebrating tonight because I got a juicy quarter pounder with cheese at McDonald's for just 99 cents. And I'm celebrating in the morning because I can get a tasty Egg McMuffin for just 99 cents too. Another quarter pounder with cheese for lunch. And in the AM, another Egg McMuffin.
Celebrate at McDonald's lunch or dinner with a juicy quarter pounder with cheese, only 99 cents. And a tasty Egg McMuffin for breakfast, just 99 cents.
Great deal. You can say that again. Great deal.
Great deals get better with America's favorite fries. Go get them.
And now, a short lesson in car shopping. 2 miles east of the sports complex on Nolan Road, you'll find a miracle. The Miracle Mile, that is, with over 4,000 cars, trucks, and vans at Cable Dahmer Mazda, Cable Dahmer Chevrolet Geo, Champion Chrysler Plymouth Jeep Eagle, Galen Boyer Pontiac GMC Buick, Independence Lincoln Mercury Honda, Landmark Dodge, and Metro Ford. On the Miracle Mile, Nolan Road, Independence. Class dismissed.
KMBC 9 News, where the news comes first.
Colorado is 62, Kansas 61, and the Jayhawks starting to wonder about Rocky Mountain High. Their last loss was in a regional final down in Denver and McNichols Arena to Syracuse for the right to move on to the Final Four. Now they are suddenly down here by a point.
They changed their defense. Martise Moore at the top, going to a zone with Martise up on top. And then he slides inside. 1-2-2 set. Willie Thomas is the dangerous guy against the zone. He and Haas. Yeah, right there. I'll tell you, you get the ball inside, he knows what to do with it. He can convert. They don't have any matchup inside to neutralize LaFrance.
TJ Pugh, number 32, down on the inside, chasing defensively out on top here against Edmonds.
Get Moore involved. They got to get Martise Moore involved against Haas now. He's got a size advantage on the inside, number 3. They got to go inside, let him post inside, dump it into him.
Phillips being over on the wing, being hounded by Jacques, comes off it. Fryer gets it inside. 2 more, he kisses it off the glass.
That's the guy that had to get involved. Good recognition by Fryer, going to the right guy. I like that Texas club, especially at home. They're going to be tough. Aaron Hutchins for Marquette, one of the underrated players in America.
The foul is on Phillips. I thought he traveled before the foul. I tell you, I thought Vaughn took an extra step.
You look at that Kansas team, and you have to also realize that Vaughn, coming off that serious injury where he was out like almost 2.5 months, torn ligaments in that wrist. You know, it takes a while to get your rhythm and your timing after an injury like that, Brent. They anticipate Scott Pollard being out 4 weeks, but it'll take him a little time to get back in wind and stamina and get back into the flow in terms of basketball.
Now for the tie.
Basketball conditioning is a little different than running up and down the floor. Kansas, everywhere they go, everybody comes out and plays against them.
Jacques Vaughn shoots the Jayhawks back into the lead, 65-64, with 6:05 to play here in Boulder.
Making sure every possession now counts. If you are Colorado, you want to go to the end of the game with a chance to win against the superbly coached Kansas team.
And it goes over to the Jayhawks. Edmonds eaten up defensively on the inside that time.
Yeah, good job defensively by Kansas. Their rotation came over, gave a lot of help. They rotate out of the zone, go to man-to-man now.
LaFrentz is going. He'll come to the line.
I'll tell you, he's unstoppable right now. It's like an M&M or a mismatch on the inside, Brett. They have no one to handle him one-on-one. See, I would try to double him up. I would right now, because they're not a great perimeter shooting team, Kansas, I would shade if it was Thomas or Haas on the perimeter, but I would give help down inside on LaFrentz and let Vaughn have to shoot from deep. Can't play him one-on-one. Cannot play him one-on-one right now with their size on the inside, Colorado. Boy, son down there at North Carolina. You and I had a chance to talk to him. A beautiful young guy, Scott Williams. That Frederick there as well. Son of Frederick, the AD, plays on a varsity.
The putback by Pierce misses, but there is LaFrentz, who missed his free throws, but hustles back to help out, and it's a three-point Kansas lead. 5:20 to go.
No answer inside again for LaFrentz. His size, they're not big enough on the interior to handle it.
Smith. Pierce rebounds into the hands now of Jacques Vaughn.
I'd still bang it inside. I'd take the ball inside.
He comes with a left-hand drive.
Nice drive by Vaughn. He spots the opening, uses his speed, utilizes the left hand, kisses it on the glass. Pasadena Muir High School, same high school that produced Stacey Augmid.
Critical time for Colorado. They cannot lose contact a second time in this game.
They got to get some shots for Billups. They got to find some shots in the zone for Billups.
Edmonds misses, and the Jayhawks come back. They're putting together a run at just the right time.
Somebody's got to tell him that Chauncey Billups is on the floor and get him some shots. He got hot here in the second half.
Pierce wants to go, and he'll step to the free throw line with the Jayhawks up by 5, 4:38 to go.
I tell you, I respect this Kansas team so much, Brent. I've had them several times, and every time you think they're on the ropes to be knocked out, to be given their first L, they always seem to come up with the big play. Oh, what a game. Wake Forest, Maryland. I can't wait to get down there, Mr. Musburger.
Should be a great one. Some of you will see Xavier, UMass, and we'll also have UCLA, Oregon State out west.
So they come back with that nice run. They're going to zone now. Big possession. They got to get a deuce here.
Fryer will go to the baseline, seal up, put it back in Billups' hands. Up over Jacques Vaughn. Rolls in a huge three.
Big trifecta right there by Billups.
73-67, 3-12.
Keeps it as a two-possession game.
20-second timeout, Kansas.
20-second timeout. Billups with 6 trays here. That's the only field goals he's made. He's 6 of 15. They are all three-point shots that have fallen successfully for Billups. 6 of 15 for the floor, 22 total points as he's hit all 4 of his free throws. Haas on the other side is 6 of 8 with 4 for 4 from three-point land and 20 points for the Jayhawks. He's the leading scorer. No, LaFrentz has just taken that. LaFrentz 9 of 16 with 21 points.
Well, they got to really defend LaFrentz now. They got to double up on the inside against him.
Six-point Jayhawk lead. Final 3 minutes. Jayhawks came into the game favored by 11. Williams snaps it, miss.
Got the ball inside, got the rotation, put the ball to the interior. Big, big possession right now for Colorado.
Melvin has it knocked away by Williams. Colorado ball, 23 on the shot clock. We'll take a break with 2:40 to go here in Boulder. and the Buffaloes trail it by 6.
I don't shower before work. I email over oatmeal. I take conference calls in my pajamas. Just take a look at the area that I'm highlighting there. That works. I document conference, I page, I fax, I work out. I get tons done. I still don't shower. I pray we never ever get video conferencing.
For years, snowboarders, knuckle dragger, and skiers have shared an uneasy truce. The equipment,
two planker,
the clothes.
Who's your tailor?
They agreed.
Dweeb, delinquent.
On nothing. Until now. Introducing the Golf K2, a Volkswagen tricked out for frosty weather with a roof rack and a K2 snowboard or a pair of K2 skis. Thus, the Cold War ended, and there was peace in our time. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
One fall, we took out our son's favorite sweater, and it didn't fit anymore. I think life insurance is like that. You don't realize how much your life has changed until you take out your policies and sit down with your agent. That's why we have the State Farm Family Insurance Checkup. I can help you see if your coverages are up to date, or if you've outgrown them. Then you make the decision. A policy has to fit, just like a sweater.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Neutrogena T-Gel Dandruff Shampoo, recommended #1 by dermatologists. It works, handles any type of dandruff symptom from mild to severe, controlling dandruff and other itchy, flaky scalp conditions. Neutrogena T-Gel Shampoo.
There's a medical emergency, but no hospital. What do you do? Build one. Leadership. Learn it now in the Army Reserve. Use it now in your career.
Brett Favre, Drew Bledsoe. They meet again to see who's really Top Gun. It's the Miller Lite Pro Bowl Battle of the Gridiron next Sunday on ABC. Payne Weber College Basketball on ABC and Raycom Sports. Brought to you by Payne Weber. When you invest with Payne Weber, you invest with more intelligence. State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. The United States Army Reserve. Be all you can be. And Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Kansas has 9 of the last 11 rebounds in this game, and they have outscored Colorado 10-3 over the last 340 as a result of that.
Hey, Brent, it doesn't shock me. Kansas has a 12-plus margin rebounded against their opposition this year, and they're 15-3 with a great year, Colorado, yet they've been out-rebounded this year by a +2 by their opponents.
This time, it's knocked out of bounds, and it goes over to Colorado. So a break for the Buffs, trailing it by 6.